On one of the other main stories we're following this morning, those major ripple effects the US president has sent through Australia's film industry after he flagged a possible 100% tariff on all films made outside the United States. Our correspondent Carrington Clark is in the US Capitol, and we've got our reporter Will Murray at Screen Australia in Queensland. Good morning to you both. Carrington, the White House says this is just a proposal at this stage. What are they saying?
Yeah, good morning to you, Bridget. So it was less than 24 hours ago that the US president sparked confusion and fear in movie-making circles around the world, including Australia, when he said that he had initiated the process to slap a 100% tariff on films produced in foreign lands. Now, it automatically raised serious questions about how such a plan would be implemented, unlike most physical goods, where it's quite clear how you can impose a tax when those goods cross the US border. It was difficult to see how you could slap such a tariff on films. Would you be doing it at the cinema when people watched them, or when they were being streamed at home? But this seemed to be part of a plan that Donald Trump wanted to see movie making pulled back to Hollywood, an industry that he says has been decimated as film production has gone overseas. We've then seen the White House put out a clarifying statement to say that this was just a proposal and all options are on the table in order to bring film production back to the United States. The president himself has since said that he will be talking to industry leaders because he wants to make sure that the plan he puts in place works for them and does not do further damage to the US film industry.
A lot of it's been taken to other countries, and a big proportion. And I'm actually going to meet with some because, there's some advantages, I guess, and I'm not looking to hurt the industry. I want to help the industry. But they're given financing by other countries. They're given a lot of things, and the industry was decimated.
Now, this process does have echoes of what we've seen with other industries and goods that have been targeted for tariffs by the Trump administration, including steel and aluminium. So it is still possible that this tariff will be imposed, but it definitely doesn't look like the fait accompli that it seemed when Donald Trump took to social media saying that there would be this 100% tariff on foreign films.
Okay, and Will, what's the reaction here in Australia? You're there at Screen Australia, which supports so many Australian productions.
It does, Bridget, and I think Carrington mentioned confusion and fear, and I think that sums it up pretty well, particularly here in Queensland, which has set itself up as something of the Australian film capital. This state alone produced around 83 films and series last financial year, and it was worth nearly $500 million to the local economy. And we have significant studios here in Brisbane, down on the Gold Coast, and up in Cairns here in Queensland. And we've produced some pretty big films over the years, including things like Pirates of the Caribbean, Elvis recently starring Tom Hanks, Aquaman, and there's currently shooting up here the latest in the Godzilla vs. Kong series. So there's quite a bit riding on this, and we offer some generous exemptions and tax exemptions up here through the federal government, a 30% tax offset for production costs here in Australia, and also there's a 10% local grant offered through Screen Queensland. And there is a lot of people hopeful that, as Carrington mentioned, that this is just a proposal and it won't go through. But experts are saying what it does expose is an over-reliance on foreign films and big production companies coming to Australia. And perhaps, Bridget, instead what we need to be doing is offering those exemptions, those tax credits, those offsets to local productions instead, and help boost the local filmmaking industry rather than going, hey, US, bring your money here, we can produce some pretty good stuff ourselves. So regardless if this goes through or not, I think there's some questions that need to be asked about the incentive structure that we offer the film industry.